शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मद्श्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रीनाथादिगुरुत्रयं गणपतिं पीठत्रयं भैरवं सिद्धौघं वटुकत्रयं पदयुगं दूतीक्रमं मण्डलं वीराङ्ग्यष्टचतुष्कषष्ठिनवकं वीरावली पञ्चकं श्रीमन्मालिनी मन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरोर्मण्डलम्। श्रीविमर्शानन्दनाथं सत्याम्बासहितं गुरुं हृत्पद्मकर्णिका मध्ये भावयेत् सर्वसिद्धये। श्रीभासुरानन्दनाथाय नमः। श्रीभास्करराय गुरुमण्डलाय नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्।
Namaste, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha. Welcome to today's session. We will first learn how to chant the 75th shloka.
Tava stanyaṃ manye,
Tava stanyaṃ manye, Tava stanyaṃ manye,
dharanidharakanye hṛdayataḥ,
dharanidharakanye hṛdayataḥ, dharanidharakanye hṛdayataḥ.
Tava stanyaṃ manye, dharanidharakanye hṛdayataḥ,
Tava stanyaṃ manye, dharanidharakanye hṛdayataḥ, Tava stanyaṃ manye, dharanidharakanye hṛdayataḥ.
payaḥpārāvāraḥ,
payaḥpārāvāraḥ, payaḥpārāvāraḥ,
parivahati sārasvatamiva,
parivahati sārasvatamiva, parivahati sārasvatamiva.
payaḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sārasvatamiva,
payaḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sārasvatamiva, payaḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sārasvatamiva.
dayāvatyā dattaṃ,
dayāvatyā dattaṃ, dayāvatyā dattaṃ,
draviḍaśiśurāsvādya tavayat,
draviḍaśiśurāsvādya tavayat, draviḍaśiśurāsvādya tavayat.
dayāvatyā dattaṃ draviḍaśiśurāsvādya tavayat,
dayāvatyā dattaṃ draviḍaśiśurāsvādya tavayat, dayāvatyā dattaṃ draviḍaśiśurāsvādya tavayat.
kavīnāṃ prauḍhānāmajani,
kavīnāṃ prauḍhānāmajani, kavīnāṃ prauḍhānāmajani,
kamanīyaḥ kavayitā,
kamanīyaḥ kavayitā, kamanīyaḥ kavayitā.
kavīnāṃ prauḍhānāmajani kamanīyaḥ kavayitā,
kavīnāṃ prauḍhānāmajani kamanīyaḥ kavayitā, kavīnāṃ prauḍhānāmajani kamanīyaḥ kavayitā. We'll recite all the 4 lines together 2 times. Tava stanyaṃ manye dharanidharakanye hṛdayataḥ, payaḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sārasvatamiva, dayāvatyā dattaṃ draviḍaśiśurāsvādya tavayat, kavīnāṃ prauḍhānāmajani kamanīyaḥ kavayitā. Tava stanyaṃ manye dharanidharakanye hṛdayataḥ, payaḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sārasvatamiva, dayāvatyā dattaṃ draviḍaśiśurāsvādya tavayat, kavīnāṃ prauḍhānāmajani kamanīyaḥ kavayitā. We'll now listen to the musical rendition.
तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकल्ये हृदयतः तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकल्ये हृदयतः
तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकन्ये हृदयतः तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकन्ये हृदयतः
पायाḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sādhasvatamiva payaḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sārasvatamiva
payaḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sārasvatamiva payaḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sārasvatamiva
तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकल्ये हृदयतः पायाḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sārasvatamiva तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकल्ये हृदयतः पायाḥpārāvāraḥ parivahati sārasvatamiva
तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकन्ये हृदयतः पायाḥpārāvāraḥ परिवहति सारस्वतमिव तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकन्ये हृदयतः पायाḥpārāvāraḥ परिवहति सारस्वतमिव
दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत् दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत्
दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत् दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत्
कवीनां प्रौढानामजनि कमनीयः कवयिता कवीनां प्रौढानामजनि कमनीयः कवयिता
कवीनां प्रौढानामजनि कमनीयः कवयिता कवीनां प्रौढानामजनि कमनीयः कवयिता
दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत् कवीनां प्रौढानामजनि कमनीयः कवयिता दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत् कवीनां प्रौढानामजनि कमनीयः कवयिता
दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत् कवीनां प्रौढानामजनि कमनीयः कवयिता दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत्कवीनां प्रौढानामजनि कमनीयः कवयिता
तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकन्ये हृदयतः पयःपारावारः परिवहति सारस्वतमिव दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत्कवीनां प्रौढानाम् अजनि कमनीयः कवयिता तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकन्ये हृदयतः पयःपारावारः परिवहति सारस्वतमिव दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत्कवीनां प्रौढानाम् अजनि कमनीयः कवयिता
तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकन्ये हृदयतः पयःपारावारः परिवहति सारस्वतमिव दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत्कवीनां प्रौढानामजनि कमनीयः कवयिता तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधरकन्ये हृदयतः पयःपारावारः परिवहति सारस्वतमिव दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत्कवीनां प्रौढानामजनि कमनीयः कवयिता.
Let's now look at the meanings of the 75th shloka. Tavastanyam manye. I think of your breasts. Dharanidharakanye. O daughter of mountains Himavan. Hṛdayataḥ. From your heart. Payaḥpārāvāraḥ. Meaning the ocean of milk. Payaḥ means milk. Payaḥpārāvāraḥ means the sea of milk. Parivahati means flows. Sārasvatamiva meaning like a poetic skill, like poetry. Dayāvatyā with compassion. Dattaṃ given. Draviḍaśiśuhu to the Dravida child. Asvādya meaning by tasting it. Tava your. Yat due to which. Tkavīnāṃ praudhānāṃ among the mature poets. Ajani meaning became. Kamanīyaḥ kavayitā enchanting poets meaning attracting everybody. So this verse is about the greatness of Devi's breast milk. We saw in 73rd shloka how Skanda and Ganesha remained ever young, having been fed by Devi the Jnanamrita, how Skanda and Ganesha got the power of being divine beings themselves. In this verse, Bhagavad-pada says the white milk is like Saraswati, represented by the white color. Saraswati is Vagdevi, we all know, or the goddess of speech and knowledge. Anyone who is fed with Devi's milk will be known for their brilliant poetry enchanting the universe forever, Bhagavad-pada says. This verse is a very interesting and a very debatable verse. We will see the Puranic story as a background for this shloka. Bhagavad-pada says, tava stanyaṃ manye, meaning I remember your breasts, meaning I remember seeing you so well, being so close to you when I was fed by you. There is a story related to this. Shankara's father was a priest in a temple in Kaladi, the birthplace of Adi Shankara. Every day he would do his prayers and offer milk to the deity there. After the offering, he would give the prasada to Shankara. Once Shankara's father had to go out of his village to another place, so he asked his wife to perform the daily puja ritual in the temple. She did this for a few days, but once she was unable to go to the temple. Young Shankara went to the temple with the milk offering and waited for the Devi to take the offering. After some time, he started crying as Devi did not consume the milk offering. Nobody came there to take the milk. Devi, taking pity on the young Shankara, accepted the offering and consumed all of the milk and gave him back the empty vessel. Shankara, being used to consume the prasadam after it is offered to Devi, was shocked to see the empty vessel and started crying again. Again, Devi, out of her compassion, fed Shankara with her breast milk. At this time, Shankara's father returns to his village and notices Shankara composing high quality poetry far beyond his age.
Now, let us look at the word draviḍaśiśu, meaning a Dravida child. In the days of Shankara, there were two main divisions in Bharata Desha. One is the north of Vindhyas and the other is south of Vindhyas. The best source to know the history of Bharata Desha is poet Kalhana's Rajatarangini. Kalhana, a Kashmiri author, wrote his works in Sanskrit. He described the people belonging to the Brahmin community. He classified Brahmins into two groups, one north of Vindhyas known as the Pancha Gaudas and one south of the Vindhyas known as the Pancha Dravidas. The Pancha Gaudas were Sarasvatas from Kashmir with surnames like Kaul, Pandit, Bhatt, Kanya Kubjas from Punjab, Mukhya Gaudas from Bengal, which includes those who migrated to Bengal from Kannauj, and Kaudin Brahmins with surnames like Banerjee, Chatterjee, Mukherjee and Ganguly, and Utkalas from Orissa and Mithilas from Bihar and Nepal. Mithilas, also referred as Maithilas, had surnames like Mishra and Jha. It is also said that the name Gaud is derived from the name Gaur, as the letters Ra and Da can be interchanged. The Pancha Dravidas were the people living south of Vindhyas. They were Telugu Brahmins, Maharashtra Brahmins, Karnataka Brahmins, and Gurjara, the Brahmins belonging to Gujarat, Mewar and Marwar regions, having surnames like Shukla, Pandya, and Mukhya Dravidas, the Brahmins of present-day Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Shankara was a Mukhya Dravida, and Shankara's guru's guru, that is Paramaguru, was a Mukhya Gauda. Since in this verse, Shankara does not name the child, there has been a lot of debate as to who this Draviḍaśiśu Bhagavad-pada is mentioning in this verse. Many important commentators of this verse of Soundaryalahari, like Lakshmidhara, Kaivalyashrama, Kameshwara Suri, and Anandagiri, think that Draviḍaśiśu mentioned in this verse is Bhagavad-pada himself. The reason for this doubt is due to similar history relating to the saint Trigஞான Sambandar, who was born in Sirkari in Tamil Nadu. He also was blessed with Devi's breast milk. The moment he consumed the milk, he was blessed with the power of goddess Sarasvati and spontaneously composed the famous poem praising Lord Shiva called Tevaram. Another commentator says Draviḍaśiśu is his father Pravarasena, the king of Dramida kingdom, although it is difficult to believe this claim. Although it is difficult to be 100% sure, we believe the reference is to Adi Shankara. We also know that Shankara was a Praudha Kavi and all the poets recognize him as the greatest during their time. Also, Shankara was a highly realized soul and would never claim anything to be of his own. In today's time, when someone writes or speaks, they introduce their names. Shankara, the egoless soul, would never do that. He will address himself only in the third person. If someone asks why Shankara is employing self-praise in this verse, the answer is that the idea conveyed in this verse is about the power one gets after getting Devi's milk. The focus in this verse is about Devi's milk and not about the person receiving it.
In the 73rd verse, we saw that both Skanda and Ganesha, due to being fed by Devi, became one of the Shanmatha deities, and also they were described as Avidita Vadhusanga Rasikau, meaning they had no knowledge or any interest about young women. Similarly, we can see both Shankaracharya and Tirunjana Sambandar were Avidita Vadhusanga Rasikau. In fact, we can say both Shankara and Jnana Sambandar as the Draviḍaśiśurs, as both were from Mukhya Dravida Desha, that is from Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and both were Brahmins. Now, let us look at the shloka with a subtler sense. Nadis are tubular organs of the subtle body through which energy flows. Nadis are ducts-like channels which carry air, water, blood, nutrients, and other substances throughout the body. There is a nadi in our bodies called Sarasvati nadi, which is behind the Sushumna nadi, terminating at the tongue, controlling speech and keeping the abdominal organs free from disease. Another nadi called Payasvini, one of the nadis terminating at the right big toe, is said to be located between the Puṣā nadi, which is behind the Pingala nadi, and the Saraswati nadi behind the Sushumna nadi. So, by saying payaḥpārāvāraḥ, Acharya has carefully chosen the word payaḥ to beautifully indicate the Payasvini nadi and the adjacent Saraswati nadi that controls speech and tongue. The Maha Kamakala mantra is said to be hidden in this shloka. We'll now move on to learn the chanting of 76th shloka.
Harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena
Harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena
avalīdhena vapuṣā harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena
vapuṣā
gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ samuttasthau
tasmād
dacalतनये dhūmalatikā samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ
janastāṃ
tava janani romavaliriti
tava janani romavaliriti
janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti
janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti.
You would have noticed in the first line, harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīdhena and avalidhena is combined as harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena. Similarly, in the third line, tasmāt and achala becomes tasmādacala.
Let's repeat all the 4 lines together twice. harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti. harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti. Let's now listen to Priya, Paramesh, Mahinta and Karthik and learn the shloka in Riti Gaule Ragam.
harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā
harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā
gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ
gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ
harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ
harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ
samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā
samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā
janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti
janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti
samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti
samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti
harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti
harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti harakrodhajvālāvalibhiravalīḍhena vapuṣā gabhīre te nābhīsarasi kṛtasaṅgo manasijaḥ samuttasthau tasmādacalatanaye dhūmalatikā janastāṃ jānīte tava janani romavaliriti.
Let's now look into the meanings. Bhagavad-pada addresses Devi as Achalатanaye. Hey Achalатanaye, O daughter of mountains. Harakrodhajvālābhi, meaning with flames of Shiva's anger. Avalīdhena, surrounded. Vapuṣā, body. Kṛtasaṅgaha, took refuge into. Gabhīre, deep. Nābhīsarasi, pond of your navel. Tasmāt dhūmalatikā samuttasthau. From there, smoke in the form of creepers arose. janastāṃ. Janastāṃ has to be split as janastāṃ jānīte. People think those creepers to be janani. Hey janani, O mother. Tava romavalihi iti. Romavaliriti has to be split as romavalihi iti. Tava romavalihi iti. Hey janani, people think those creepers to be your hairline above your navel region. Here, Bhagavad Pada once again talks about the burning of Manmatha by Lord Shiva. We have seen in many verses, Shankara has brought this story of Manmatha being burnt by Shiva. But earlier in the verses we saw so far, he talked about Manmatha being burnt by Shiva and Devi bringing his life back. But in this shloka, Acharya, while describing the navel region of Devi, with his poetic imagination, narrates how Manmatha got his life back from the same navel of Devi. He says, O daughter of mountains, when flames of Shiva's anger consumed Manmatha's body, he took refuge into the deep pond of your navel region. With his body burnt there, smoke appearing like creepers arose that people know to be the hairline of your navel region.
In the 39th sloka, Shankaracharya said, those compassion-filled glances of yours, O Devi, is generating a cooling effect to this world which is being burnt by the extremely angry look of Samvarteshvara. When Shiva's anger burns everything around, Devi's compassionate glances bring out a cooling effect. In this shloka, due to the same compassion of Devi, Manmatha was able to take refuge into her cool nābhīsarasi. We all know that an unborn child, when in mother's womb, floats in the amniotic fluid that keeps it protected during the entire pregnancy. Adi Shankara, with his poetic imagination, calls this as Devi's nābhīsarasi, where Manmatha found refuge. Just like amniotic fluid protects the fetus, Devi protected him in her navel pond. It is natural for any burnt object falling on cool water to emit smoke. Shankara uses his creative mind to then say, smoke came out as creepers forming a hairline in the navel region. Since she is the source of the greatest bliss, so her form itself is complete bliss. Manmatha is also called Kandarpa. Devi is called Kandarpa Vidya, meaning she is the Vidya or mantra of Kandarpa or Manmatha. He is the seer of the mantra, and we all know he is a great upasaka of Devi.
While the flames of the angry Rudra destroy Manmatha, with her dayārdra drishtihi, the look that is wet with compassion, through the gracious and cooling effect of that glance, she comforts Manmatha and protects him. Because she protected him and brought his life back, Acharya addresses her as Janani, the mother. She is indeed Manmatha's Janani. Acharya first talked about Shiva and Parvati's children, Ganesha and Skanda. Then he talked about the Draviḍaśiśu. Now he talks about Manmatha she gave life to. Now Acharya says Janaha, meaning people see the smoke as the hairline of your navel region. She is a pativrata, so how can she be seen by someone other than her husband? There is another meaning for the word Janaha, father or Shiva. So Adi Shankara very cleverly uses this word Janaha to say Shiva sees the smoke as the hairline in Devi's navel region. With this, we conclude today's session. Please join us tomorrow, same time, to learn the next two set of shlokas. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha.
शिवे शिवसुशीतलामृततरङ्गगन्धोल्लसन् नवावरणदेवते नवनवामृतस्यन्दिनी गुरुक्रमपुरस्कृते गुणशरीरनित्योज्ज्वले षडङ्गपरिवारिते कालितयेष पुष्पाञ्जलिः कालितयेष पुष्पाञ्जलिः